So the difficult bit is getting this first line in the right place, because once that's in, you know exactly where the person is looking, you know the position of their face, and you can start plotting all those halfway marks to make sure your eyes and your nose and your mouth and ears are all in the right place. So I know that I only want a smidge of the side of his face. So I'm going to put a line.
Okay.
That.
My apologies, Steve. I was a bit off track. I was filling the format for my nurse. I didn't realise it swapped over from Kim to Tom.
Okay,
that's right.
Hence why I've just. Hence why I've
Didn't
literally
realise
just
you'd
done the
not
video.
swapped over from Kim to Tom.
That's why I've just stopped and started recording again.
Okay. No worries.
Pin Tom, please.
I am pinned.
I think he's pinned. Yeah.
Okay.
Spotlight. Yeah. He's spotlighted, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this line, this big one that I've just drawn, is that vertical horizontal line, if you remember. And it's really important to get that in there, because now we've got top of head, bottom of head, middle line where we know the nose sits, and the middle of the eyes, and the middle of just the middle of the face. So we can work from there, because now what we're going to do is split it halfway. Yeah. Halfway through that line. Give us where our eyes sit. Okay.
Okay.
But this is where we need to start really thinking, because the direction that my person is going to be looking is not, again, I'll say it again, he's not looking that way out. He's not looking directly towards us. He's looking that way out.
That way out.
And I'm going to go even harder, because everyone's doing so well. I'm going to give him just an ever so slight tilt. So it's more sort of a natural, like he's seen something out of a window and he's like, oh, what's that? So that means we need to curve this middle line, like we've done this one here. You can see how it curves?
Yeah.
It's because we're trying to get that feel that this is a head at an angle. We've got this three-dimensional object that's curving around, because it curves around, doesn't it, your head? That's why we always start with a circle. But you've got to remember that it's curving that way as well, because we're starting with a ball. So we need to put that in.
Right, so, okay, so like that.
Okay. I'm going to try and take this really slowly, because I know this is tricky. Okay.
No, I've got it. I've got it, I think. I think I've got it.
Why do I keep getting a picture of Natalie? I want a picture of Tom.
Oh, it's now set to whoever's talking, I think.
Oh, I see.
I can't change any of that. Only whoever's hosting can.
Hang on.
No worries. I'll just hang on. I'll just wait here a second.
Gallery view.
Is that any better?
Hopefully.
Pin.
Is that better?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a pin and a spotlight on him now, so you go ahead,
Got
Tom.
everything on you.
Brill. Okay. So I'll go back to this line. This is our sort of halfway down, so that's where our eyes are going to sit. And I've had to curve it, because now we're thinking about the head in an odd angle. So it curves around the face. And if you want to remember that the top of the ear sits on this line as well, remember you've got to curve it still. So follow that curve around. Imagine it's, if you like, it will do sort of like a circle around the head, like an ellipse. But let's go ahead and put a nose line there. And we know where to put all these marks, don't we? So let's just put them in. But remember to put them in at a slight angle. So it looks vaguely familiar, right? A circle with one line going that way, three lines going that way.
This was an updated lockdown instruction. Thank you for watching.
Okay, thanks.
Stephen!
Okay.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to mute. I'm doing stuff in the background.
Oh, no, that's all right. It's good to keep having a little stop, I think, in this, because this is going to be quite intense while your flapjacks are cooking. So what we did when we did the side profile from when we got to here, we put an ear in, didn't we? Because it's always nice. We know exactly where that ear is going to fit in this gap here. So we can go ahead and plot it. And we want it to sit between here and here. And circle. So let's go ahead and put a very quick, rough ear shape in there. Doesn't have to be a lot because we can come back and work on it once everything's in sort of the right place. Okay, and we've basically got a mouth in the place there because we don't need a lot more than that. And we've got a chin. Look at that. It's already starting to look like one of those vague mannequin heads that we normally end up with when we're this far in. Okay, so let's fill this in a little bit more because we can have we're going to have quite a strong jawline, like when we had in side profile, but not when we're front on like that. It kind of just becomes the edge of your face, doesn't it? Whereas from here, we can see that jawline. Remember how we did that? It sort of curved up it comes from behind the ear like it did last time. So let's try and sit it somewhere there like that. Does that kind of look like a head to some to everybody?
Yeah.
Somewhat. Okay. Right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is before I put hang on, let me have a quick think. What did I do last time? I tried to sculpt out the face a little bit more, didn't I? That's a good place to be moving on to. Just pull up a reference picture here for you for a second. Okay. So let's give this person a nose, shall we? Because we know where the nose sits, don't we? Because we've the top of the bridge of the nose comes in here. We know it sits in the middle line. We know it sits on the eye line, and we know that it comes down to about here. So we've got a top and a bottom of our nose, and all we need is the sides. The nose isn't going to come any further than the edge of your face. This is the extreme edge here. That's the extreme bottom. So we can know that nose starts here, nose finishes there, nose finishes there. And we've got most of a mouth in thanks to that line. So if you just follow that around. Look at that, we've got 4 points very handily where our nose is going to sit.
Is it me or does it look like one of the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? The helmets.
Yeah, it's just like a very completely vague mask at the minute because what we're going to do is rather than take the mask off, we're going to put the face on the mask, if you like.
Yeah, it looks like one of the old Mighty Morphin Power Ranger helmets.
I'm
muting myself now.
Okay. So remember when we've done noses before, we tend to start everything with a circle. So we're going to put just a very faint circle that sits in between these very handy lines that we've got going on. So we'll just draw one there. I've done it very light because I really don't want that to show up at all at the end.
Like mine.
If you can't see it, trust me, it's there. Okay, and remember that we've done those noses, you know, we did one circle, another, and then sort of turned it into a nose that way. So we know that there's another circle that needs to go somewhere here. So we know that we've got an extreme edge there of a nose. So we know that the circle's got to sit there. Let's join them up with a nostril. And curve around the top of the nose there. Green a second. Yeah, it kind of looks like a nose. I'm happy. And now we've got the extreme point here. We've got the extreme point here. So we can just come across a little bit from that point there. Line that up. The nose. Okay, we can pull that round now into that sort of squashed, elongated 2 shape, if you remember, because that still exists. Because all that 2 shape is the top of your eye socket and the curve of your nose. So it's always there. You can see it. I'm just going to draw it in now. It's there. Can you see? There's your 2 shape. And that's given us an eyebrow position. And it's also given us our eye position because it's going to go somewhere there like that. But we'll come to that in a mo. Now then, what also happens from here, your top of your eye socket is a protrusion, isn't it? We know that from when we did side profile last week, that it comes out and it dips back in again when we get to the eyeball. We're going to get that here, and we've got the eyebrow, so we know that it's going to come in and come back out. Okay, this is where our eye is going to sit, but we'll look at the eye in a little more detail in just a mo. And cheekbone, remember, as well, is another bit that sticks out on your face. You see all these bits that are sticking out and dipping back in and things? We're really now looking at the head in 3D. So we know that it sticks out again for a cheekbone and dips back in a bit. Cheekbone, eyebrow, your eye's going to go there, your nose. Okay, look at that. It's annoying me that that's not quite human looking, so we'll pull this down and make the chin. Remember, chins are a circle, everything's circle. So let's try and build that up a bit. And the chin comes out, as we looked at last week. The chin comes out, dips back in from the bottom and comes out for your lip. So we've got lips here, so we can dip in from the lip, out for the chin. There we go, we've got a chin. Just going to define that jawline a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so we've drawn the edge of the face, we've got an eye, we've got an eyebrow, we've got a nose, we've got a vague mouth, we've got an ear. There's not much left.
I've just sent you an image on what I mean.
All right, okay. Just have a quick look at this. Download it. Okay.
It's called MMPR helmet.
I got it. It's just not opening. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Because obviously that black section is sort of this line here.
Yeah, you see what I mean? The visors where you run your line.
Actually on the 3/4 view, which is,
Yeah.
is very handy. Okay.
Could we do that one week, maybe?
If you want to. There's not a lot to it. On a quiet week, yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Let's come across. We've got another eye in here, haven't we? It needs to be on this side. So we know it comes on this line. Yeah, because it's halfway, horizontally halfway down the face. We know that the tear ducts of the eye roughly sit on the edge of the nostril, and we know that the iris starts at the edge of the lips, which we've pretty much got already. So we can start to build this eye shape. Remember to try and follow some kind of contour. Don't worry about too much detail or anything like that. We're just going to pop that in. We've also got an eyebrow lined up there, haven't we? So we can just very quickly stick that in there for now. Just for now, we'll come back and touch bits up once we're happy that everything's in sort of the right place. Okay, it's starting to look somewhat like a person. Notice how now, all of a sudden, that eye has really made it look like this person is looking that way. We're really starting to get a sense that this person is in the same, if not similar, kind of 3D space as the rest of us. And let's keep that down there. Okay. Again, it irks me around this kind of point because it's just a floating head. So I want to put a bit of a neck in. And remember that it starts from behind the ear, like the jaw starts from somewhere there. So let's just put that in. You know what, I'm going to put, I wasn't going to, but I'm going to put his shirt on as well in a second. I remember to leave a bit for the chin, because although when we did the first set of portraits, we were front on, and the chin, nothing really stuck out. We were trying to build up the shadow and make the forms out of the shadow. But from this side, we really started to see. Remember, I mentioned those Victorian silhouettes that caught the likeness just from the side by cutting out the profile features. We want to try and combine the two. So we want this chin to properly stick out a bit to make it really look like we're 3D, remember. So I'm going to just put the front of his neck. It's just behind that first middle line, if you like, at the same sort of angle as that. And it's starting to look like this person actually exists in our dimension, which is always helpful. I'm just very, very quickly going to put his shirt on. And then that might help you see. You don't have to put the shirt on, of course, but I'm hoping that me putting on will help you see the angle a bit better that I'm trying to achieve with you. Just see that bit and. Bear with me, folks. Let's put that there. Put that there. Okay.
Is that Patrick Stewart again?
No, we'll put hair on him in a minute. I really try and vary the ages and genders of all the people that we've done. So this is a similar sort of age chap as the woman we did last week. So I've flitted back. We did a bald older man to start with. We did a younger female person for the side profile. And for 3/4, we're doing sort of a middle-aged gentleman, should we say. Okay. So hopefully here that has really hammered home the angle that this chap is sat at. So you can see his very open shirt, a neck there, you know, Adam's apple coming down there somewhere. Put that there. Okay. So he does need hair. You're very right, because it's not Patrick Stewart. We want some hair on him to make him look his age. So I think that looks all right. I'm happy with that. If you have ever done any kind of art classes before, you may have seen that similar sort of diagram that we started with, but you might have seen another circle on that one for 3/4 view somewhere there. And that's showing you, remember the corners on your forehead that I was telling you about last time and the time before? They're using that as a circle, so that it's almost as if you've got 2 circles either side, 2 flat circles there, and they're building the face out from that. It's similar to the circle we started with from side profile last week, but that's very handy that it helps us in the sense that we know that that's going to be the temple, so we know where that corner is and we can bend round from there. But I think putting that in as well and explaining that a bit earlier on might have just confused everybody even further than I wanted to today. Okay. Right, we need some hair. Let's build up some hair from his ear and neck, shall we? Let's go for sort of short, thinning male hair. Let's come up. And remember, the circle is the top of the head, not the top of the hair. So we need to come up a bit. So let's just mark a sort of hairline above that circle and also behind it. Now this one, we're going to put a crown of hair in. I'm going to line up sort of with the bottom of the ear where the crowns tend to sit. Okay, I'm relatively happy here. Yeah, okay, we've got a vague notion of where some hair's going to go. Coming around, let's put a flicky kind of fringe here. And we want it to come out a bit more there. And remember, we've always got this. It doesn't matter how far your hair recedes back from the temple, like mine's doing. We want it to come up and around the ear. So we've got that bit there. And then it comes up here to join the temple. So we can just very quickly stick that in there. Okay. Again, not much in the way of detail. Not trying to overly get you lost in what's going on, because there's enough of getting lost already, just remembering and learning and finding where everything sits. Okay. There's some hair. Let's just keep it. We don't want lots of hair. We want sort of loose, flicky hair here. Make it more references really.
This be like my hair.
It's like your hair.
Oh, hi Tom. Sorry, it's me. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Lawrence. Lawrence anyway.
Hello, Lawrence.
Hi.
What I want to do now is to really, we've done that cheekbone, but it looks a bit empty. When we remove those guidelines later on, it'll look really, really empty. So I'm going to, remember how we did that last time? We just put a quick shadow sort of there.
You're doing a Doctor Who, Tom?
No, it isn't.
Oh, right.
No.
Oh, right.
Good guess. I'd love to see this guy play Doctor Who, though. It's David Thewlis,
Oh, right.
the actor.
I've pinned Lawrence to screen so you can see what he means when he says him.
Oh.
It looks like his
Sorry,
hair.
I'm not on my thing. All right, I can see him. Yeah. Yeah, you just need to go mess it up a bit. That's it.
Yeah, yes. My hair's
Okay.
so long. Yeah.
Removing your pin now, Lawrence.
Okay, I'm just putting a bit of depth in because it's still looking a bit. I've not got quite that 2D, the 3D effect that I'm trying to show you. Okay. I'm somewhat happy with that. What I'm going to do now, let's build that nose, because remember, that's a protrusion. That's probably the biggest protrusion on your face, or at least the most notable. So we want to really bring that forward. Remember that circle from the base of the nose is your...
like a carrot.
Yeah, I suppose. If you think of a snowman, actually, from the side, yeah, big whopping great carrot. So...
So can I just excuse me a minute, Tom?
No, do.
And everybody know it's 30 minutes up. I don't know whether you've checked your flapjacks. Mine have just come out the oven. So I don't know whether you want...
Yeah, go. I mean, yeah, it's probably good to sort of take a little bit, because there's a lot of information that we've taken in all in one go.
Yeah, if everyone checks their flapjacks.
Yeah, do
And
go
also-
check your flapjacks, everybody.
All you need...
Tom.
Yeah.
And keep them in the tea.
I was younger. I got short hair here. I've got this picture here. I got short hair.
Oh, yeah.
This picture. I was in school.
it still looks like this.
I'll say, oh, thanks. I was looking wet. I was younger too.
Hey, what's up, it's out.
Okay, Lawrence. Can I just, yeah, keep it in the tin and let it get cold in the tin. All right, you don't have to get it out the tin yet. Just now it's out the oven. Put it on a cooling rack and keep it in the tin. And then when it's cold, you'll get it out of the tin, and then that's when you cut it into pieces. So you can cut it cut it 9 medium pieces. But you won't need to do that until it's cold.
You're going to be standing there like you're on the Great British Bake Off with you, fanning it.
At the oven anyway, Kim.
It is my birthday on Monday anyway, Tom.
Oh, is it? Very happy birthday to you. For
Thanks, mate.
Are you coming on see him on Monday then, in Lawrence?
I might do. Yeah. I will be on it. Yes, yeah, because my dad tried to take me home. I'll be having party outside, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I will. Yeah, I will enjoy it. I will enjoy it for soon on Monday morning. I don't know what time. Between 11 o'clock. So. Yeah, it's just been like 11 o'clock to me. Yeah, really.
Has everyone disappeared to go and deal with flapjacks, or have I still got some people? I didn't want to interrupt the flapjacking.
I'm still with
Still
you.
got me.
Okay.
I'm just cutting out stuff at the moment.
You can't draw a puzzle like Ed Sheeran face.
So it has to be for this to do this.
Sorry, I didn't catch that because lots of people are talking at the same time.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I was saying you doing his name is Ed Sheeran. You know, Ed Sheeran's got lots of hair, lots of brown hair.
Yeah.
He's got beard, brown beard here. Yeah. His ears and long hair.
That's weird because I've got my I've actually got my Ed Sheeran t-shirt on, so that's quite weird that you've just said that.
Just kind
I
of.
think I finished up a little bit elongated.
A little bit of Ed Sheeran.
All I'm doing
feel
now,
comfortable.
whilst people are flapjacking, in case there's anyone out there that doesn't want to miss anything, I'm just. He's got a mustache and a little bit of a beard, in my reference, so I'm just putting that in. Doesn't need a lot, because I'm doing quite a loose drawing anyway. So just following sort of the bottom of the chin is where it gets particularly fuzzy. So we just put like lots of little scribble marks, follow it around the jaw and sort of into a sideburn. The mustache, it's quite important to keep the shape of it.
No, but don't have you on too loud because of my wife.
Lots of little marks. And it's even more important than when you're doing your head hair, when you're doing facial hair, is to try and vary the darkness and lightness of your mark makings, because they're very closely compact and short. So they tend to be short. It's almost like they're like packed in like sardines in a tin. They're very squashed together. So you often get light bouncing off, and then there's lots of places where no light at all.
Sorry, Tom, who did you say it was?
It's David Lewis.
David Lewis.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
I'll just go into the toilet. No, I will come back.
Okay, no problem. I'm still messing
He
around
was
with it.
he was in Harry Potter, wasn't he, as the professor?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
He's done lots of stuff as well. He used to be married to Anna Friel, didn't he? I think as well.
I've got no idea. That's it. I kind of do that thing of forgetting far more than I remember.
I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so I should know all these stuff.
I'm just going to, whilst we wait for people to return,
Yeah.
I'll just finish off what I was before Flapjacks came out. We were looking at the nose, remember? So we're just going to shade that a bit better. We can put some bags under there and lots of lines, make him look properly middle-aged.
You sweet.
Okay, go. Very fair eyes as well. I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to talk to you about his eyes. I guess the eyes are the real clincher in pulling off this position of the face, because it's obvious where they sit, because they're the focal points of your face, aren't they, sat here? But where they're looking, if you make sure that they're looking straight ahead, it really brings home the position of your head and the viewing. So getting them looking in the same direction is a trick, because there's very few people I know that can point their eyes in different directions at the same time. And I'm sure as hell not going to get you to draw that, because that just drawing stuff that doesn't look real, even stuff and sci-fi stuff, you know, it's all got a grounding of something real, something to hang on to. You know,
That's mine so far.
Let me just stand over. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry, I can't find you. Hang on a minute. That's what I was after, to be honest, because that I can tell that is looking at an angle. It's not looking like that. It's not looking like that. You can tell that that's got a person with two eyes looking in a 3D space outwards.
Phew. Made me very happy.
I said before, Tom, I've gone a little bit elongated, I think.
That's okay, but the same applies. It still looks like a man, which is always good if that's what we're drawing, and it looks like someone that's looking sort of out of the page. It sort of brings you this like, oh, what's he looking at? It looks like an actual drawing, doesn't it? If you like that, like a proper piece of art.
I think I might have found something that might help, if that's any idea, any help, Tom. Here we go. There we go. On screen.
That's him, yeah.
That's the guy you're drawing, guys.
Yeah. Oh, he's bald there. Can you?
He's got hair there.
Oh, and this, I can see the Guardian.com one on the left as well. He's bald.
The one on the right.
But you see how thin that hair is at the top. On particularly, that's a good one to show that you've got lots of gappage.
Well, I purposely, as you can see in my Google search, I put side view.
Yeah. If you put side profile in, you'll probably get some better ones. But
My
that's,
man looks Chinese.
so something was Chinese. Sorry, can you move it that way a little bit?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, but everything's in the right place, and it's looking in the same direction. It's looking out of the page into something. What's going on over here?
Was that any help for you, Tom?
That one there is on Pinterest in the middle. That's this.
There you go, guys.
That's exactly what we're doing here.
Tom.
Hello.
Sorry, yes. That guy, he's played for Harry Potter.
Professor
Yes.
Lupin, yes.
Yeah, it is.
Professor R.J. Lupin. And how I know that is very weird because I'm a bit of a.
I don't really know what else to say to you. It's
Oh, that's
I'm very
good.
impressed that everybody's grasped this really well. I don't want to say that I underestimated everybody, but I really thought that this one might catch you out because you did so well with the front views and the side profiles.
I thought it would catch me up quite a bit, but not today.
I really thought everybody would struggle more than you have. No offense.
Yeah, I thought I was going to struggle.
Everybody would.
I'll
Yeah, I
bet
thought I was going to struggle, but I didn't struggle.
mine looks like a monkey.
What are you about?
That's close enough. It's better than looking like an elephant.
Extremely happy that I didn't struggle on that.
Natalie, I'm going to come to you first. See what
There we go.
yours looks like.
That'll do for now.
Put you first on my list. Shows your art.
There's mine. That's mine.
I'm coming there a little bit more.
That's good.
Oh,
That is good.
very good, Tom. Very good.
Mustache. Yeah, it really, the likeness really comes home when I haven't really talked about that much.
Mhm.
And it's what caricaturists do. Someone spoke about doing caricatures when we first started. Andy, yeah, that's it. So what caricatures do is they find some identifying feature quite like immediately, and they know
Yeah.
that the likeness of the person is going to sit in that particular feature. So with me, it might be glasses and mad curly hair.
Yeah.
And this guy, as soon as I started putting this mustache and fluffy beard in,
Mm-hmm.
it started to look immediately
I
better.
realised it was him.
It just
Yeah.
sort of came home. And
Yeah.
I tend to, when I'm drawing these sort of things, leave that till last because it really makes me look at everything else to make sure it's all in the right kind of place. And then all of a sudden, pop that in, and it's like, oh, it's that person.
Yeah. I like to draw Vernon Keating.
Can't think what he looks like off the top of my head.
Hang on a
Mhm.
second. Hang
Irish, so probably ginger.
Yeah.
on. Hang
Very
on a
okay.
second.
He's fantastic. I've met him 2 times now. He's absolutely fantastic.
Can't think what his face looks like, the shape of his face.
Yeah. I've always wanted to draw Vernon Keating, always.
Have a go. Nothing's stopping you. You've learnt so many skills over the past 5 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Go
Learned
for it.
quite a lot, actually. Learned quite a
Oh,
lot.
I see.
Yes.
Very strong jaw, very strong nose,
Yeah.
very strong cheekbones, a bit like we've got going on here,
Mm-hmm.
and a very receding hairline as well.
He was a 90s pop star. He was in Boys
He
Own.
was. He was in
Oh, right.
Boyzone.
So he probably hosts a show on Heart Radio now.
What was that? What was that?
No, Magic Radio is on at the
Oh, I
moment.
was so close.
Magic Radio. I hear him every single day.
Okay, so I'm going to mention one more quick thing. Remember that I started shading the nose in this side, but I didn't, like have done every other time, is mentioned that where we need to imagine that there's a light source because we're in a 3D space. So we're going to just imagine that it's hang on, let me find the right way to say this before I stumble over myself and get everybody confused.
You don't want to get me confused.
No. Well, remember when we were looking at a face this way, I put light coming from this way. So we knew that shadow was going to fall on this side.
Right, okay.
When I did it like that, I did it the same, and we had shadow sort of falling down this side.
Mhm.
Now you've got to think of the light position in a 3D space.
Yeah.
So wouldn't the light
So-
be behind his head? So it's not coming from a shadow be in front of his face?
Kind of in front of his face, because I've shaded in the nose for everybody, which we all did together. The light is sort of coming from where he's looking at. Imagine he's looking out of a window, basically.
Yeah.
Which we can.
Do you want me to bring the photo back up for
There
you?
you go. That's all right. There you go. Okay. There you go. He's looking out a window.
Right.
So the light is
That's
coming.
good.
It's not coming directly in from there. It's coming
Mhm.
from here and hitting this accent. That's why we get we get light hitting here, 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 and over here, both sides of the face.
Yeah.
Because remember, the nose doesn't stick out as far as here. You know, it's not that long, so it blocks that
No.
much. It's only this long. So from the light source, it only blocks out the same amount of distance as it is long or wide.
Mhm.
So the cheekbone protrusion is going to be a highlight there. And then it's going to pop away again like it does on that side. It's going to pop away again down there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of information. A lot of new things to be discovering, because we're talking about both aspects of what we've looked at with portraits so far. We've looked at building those sort of vague forms from the front, because there aren't definable shapes apart from the edge of your face. From this side, you get all of the defining features. From this side, you kind of just have to figure out what's going on as you go along, and learning about looking and where light's coming from and where it's going to be hitting next. There's a lot to it, and I'm very impressed with everybody again this week. Next week, I think it won't be as hard.
Right, okay.
Shall I continue
Put it that way.
Shall I continue going around the group? See
What are we doing next week?
Oh, we're doing it cheeky. We're going to look at doing hands next week.
So,
Okay.
having gone with what we were drawn, going with your Uncle Frank.
Come back down there, leave that in there.
Okay.
If anyone wants to show and tell again, I think, is that what you're sorting out now, Andy? Putting up a little grid.
I've got a question.
Yeah, fire away.
Okay, it goes like this, Tom. A while ago, I was in Aldrich Farm before. I can draw like Doctor Who musters. Sometimes I draw like werewolves because I am doing artist characters in Doctor Who's Van Helsing, werewolves, and in Doctor Who and Van Helsing, and all the character films I like to watch, like doing so color his hair, right? I'll show you next week actually, because
do.
Want to color the face like Doctor Who, something like, because Doctor Who first Doctor Who is a debut talent enough one, because Donna he's looking a part of Doctor Who in the past with Rose Tyler. Okay, this is Doctor Who first one. This is a second one. Shown here, this same together. That means like parts different galaxy he went to far away. In the past, he used to be like older Doctor Who in the past before he forms into another one, like the heart of Donna, and then part of Doctor Who, part of his body doing changing, like to another person, to hit her or smash move like that. That means put it older. I see them in London not time ago, and like Daleks is like facing forwards or this way or this way. If I want to move her head, doing this, oh, I'll just do like this. Dominate. And then the werewolves do this, do like this. And Lupin's Harry Potter, he's very good at that. He's very good. So I will show that little picture of him doing this like werewolf. I will go back to normal person.
Thank you, Laura.
Same like that.
Interesting.
So, thank you.
Can I just ask, is June doing any crafts today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to show some signing.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, we're going to move on to the craft lesson now. So we need to listen to this, Lawrence, okay?